This is a no bullshit guide to building a practical get home bag. You've seen those videos where preppers pack 50 pounds of gear, tactical tomahawks, EMP proof radios, and enough food for a field kitchen that would make Kent Rollins dance. All while hiking through the jungle with the AR-15 and enough ammo to make the DOD say, "Damn!" But in reality, your car's probably going to break down. You'll need to signal for help, wait it out, or walk to the nearest exit. My get home bag weighs 15 pounds and 6 pounds of that is water. It's built for emergencies that are likely to happen, not prepper apocalypse porn. So whether you're a commuter or a prepper who needs a reality check, I'm gonna show you how to build a lightweight kit you'll actually use. Before we get into what's in my bag and how you can build one for yourself, there's some things I want to get straight. The first thing I want to do is define what a get home bag is and what it isn't. What this bag is intended for is to keep you safe from risks to get home. What it's not is a 72-hour wilderness bag. So the first thing that we need to do before we build a bag is make an assessment of what risks you encounter on a day-to-day basis. And we do that by looking at a few things. First, you might want to look at distance that you travel away from home. Most people will only be about 3 to 5 miles away from some sort of civilization, no matter how far you are away from home. I tried to find the most remote spot to record this video at, and in searching for this spot, I noticed that there's always some sort of civilization somewhere nearby, or there's somebody passing by on the road. Since I've been here, I've probably been here about 15 minutes setting up, and since I've been here, there's been about 4 vehicles pass through here. People will make it seem like, oh, you work 20 miles away and it takes 3 miles an hour to walk, so it'll take you this many hours to get home. That's usually not going to be the case. Or they'll be like, oh, an EMP is going to happen. That's probably not going to happen anytime soon. I mean, it can. Don't get me wrong. It can. Is it likely? Is it likely that you're going to run into a LA riot? Well, it depends first if you live in LA or not. The thing is that most people aren't going to be fighting to get back home. Most people are just going to need to wait for somebody to come get them, or they might need to walk to a gas station or something like that, get gas and bring it back to their vehicle. Or they'll wait for AAA to come get them or for the police to show up. Now, knowing that, distance doesn't become too much of a factor. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a factor, but we also need to think about what type of environment you're typically in. Are you in a high crime neighborhood? Are you in a wilderness area with a lot of wild animals that might endanger you? These things make a difference on what you'll actually pack inside your bag. There are some universal things that we all need, like water, but your safety might be different from my sense of safety when it comes to a bag. I need you to kind of think about what environment you're typically in and then assess what those risks are in your environment. Some other things that you'll need to consider before packing the bag are, do you have any health issues, any medications that you may need to pack? Do you have children with you? Do you have a significant other with you? If so, they'll probably actually need their own bag if they ride in your vehicle all the time. So keep that in mind. This is a bag mostly just for oneself. 2 people can get along with this bag, maybe 3, but it's basically a personal bag. So if you have more people riding a vehicle, I suggest that you make a bag for each person. Another thing that you'll need to consider is, what type of network do you have? Are you a loner? Are you a person who doesn't talk to people much and people may not notice that you're gone if you don't show up somewhere? Or you just the opposite? Do you have 8 brothers who are ex-military and very overprotective and always looking out for you? Those things will make a difference on what you'll pack in your bag. Let's get into what I packed in my bag, why I packed what I packed, and then that might help you make decisions on what you may or may not want to pack in your bag. So first off, let me show you the bag. This is the bag. This is a separate bag, but this is the bag that I chose. This is a Camelback Mule. I'll see if I can zoom in on here real quick. It's a Camelback Mule. And I chose this bag because it's really good quality. And this has a water bladder on the inside that holds 100 ounces of water. Now that comes out to be about a little over 6 pounds of water. So while I'm traveling and I'm using up this water, this thing will eventually get lighter until I refill it. Let's go ahead and go inside this first top pocket right here. What I keep up here is I have sunglasses in case I don't already have a set of sunglasses. These are actually safety glasses. I chose these because they're cheap. If they get messed up, you can throw them away, and they're impact resistant. I also keep these. These are reading glasses, and I keep these in case I need to read small print, and or say if I get a splinter and it's something that's really small and I need to really get a good eye of what I'm trying to dig out of my finger or whatever, whatnot, these come in real good handy. You're gonna want a pair of really good gloves. Like I said, your situation may be different from mine, but if you're walking home or if you have to handle anything, these are a lifesaver. I chose these ironclad gloves. Oh, somebody's coming down the street now. I chose these because they're really good quality. They got impact resistance. I'm not being sponsored by anybody, but these are good gloves. Let's let this vehicle pass real quick. Here I have a whistle. I don't know what brand this whistle is. It's a really good whistle. It's called Windstorm. See if I can zoom in on that for you. It's a Windstorm whistle. It's actually my old whistle from when I was a lifeguard. I'm not going to blow it because I'm not going to be an asshole, because I know you're listening. It's a really good whistle. It's good for signaling. Also, I have paracord for the necklace here. So it's a dual use thing. I have a flashlight here. Now, I carry a flashlight on me in my everyday carry, but this is kind of like a secondary backup thing. It's also in the bag for me to remind myself to tell you that you need a flashlight. There are some things in this bag that I put in the bag purposely just to mention to you, but things that I probably wouldn't necessarily keep in my bag, only because I actually keep it on my person at all times. But I would keep this flashlight because it's nice to have a backup in case something goes wrong with the flashlight that you have. This one has a push button on it. What I do is I turn the battery upside down so that it doesn't accidentally get turned on while it's in my bag and then the battery run out, and then when I need it, it's not working. Another thing I keep in this pouch is some baby wipes. The only thing worse than walking home is walking home with a dirty ass. Hygiene. These come in really good handy if you need to take a shit in the woods, or you might just need to clean yourself up or clean around a wound or something like that. These are a must-have. You got to wash your ass. Let's go to this back pouch, and I'm going to show you this bladder that I'm talking about. So in this back pouch, I keep things that I don't use too often. One of those being let's see if it's back here. I got a life straw. Now, I do mess around in rural areas a lot. I keep this in case I need to hit a stream or something. I'm probably never going to use it, but it's nice to have. It has this bladder right here that holds 100 ounces of water. I keep mine full of water because I drink out of this a lot, but the thing is that you need to stay on top of this. You need to make sure that you keep it clean. You probably should clean it at least once a week. Don't put anything in here besides water. Don't be ghetto and put Kool-Aid in here. Don't do that. Stop it. Get some help. It gets real nasty real quick. Water only. Ice water if you want. I keep the Shegmaw back here. I chose this color specifically in case I need to signal someone. It's a really big piece of cloth here. Also, I've heard complaints about people saying, oh, I don't want to look like I'm a Muslim, or I don't want to look like I support Palestine and some other dumb shit like that. And this is a good color because most Muslims you see are not, well, I don't know. I ain't got the gang of Muslim homeboys, but most people I see who wear these don't wear this color. But like I said, I use this color for signaling. It's got a whole bunch of other uses. I'm not going to get into all the uses because there's people who make better videos on that than myself. But a short list is it could actually be a head wrap, or it can cover your mouth in case you're in dusty situations. You get a broken arm, you can tie it up, use it as a sling. You can also use it to carry stuff. You can put a whole bunch of stuff in the middle and get you a stick and then put it on your back like the old memes of when kids would run away back in the day. All right, let me see if I got, what else I got back in here. No, there's something else. Oh, water key. This key is almost like, imagine like a miniature tire iron, but you use it to turn on water faucets on buildings. So most buildings have water spigots, but they don't have the regular normal handle that you have at home to turn on your water hose at home, they have this key that fits in, and that's to keep the public from turning on the water and just leaving it on, or just using free water or whatever, whatnot. In a pinch, you could use this to refill your water. Now, keep in mind, it's going to be probably chlorinated water, but chlorinated water is better than dehydration. Now, one thing I'll tell you is I don't keep a whole bunch of food in my to-go bags. One, because the average person can live without food for a long time. Like, people keep all this food in their bags and you really don't need that extra weight. I keep one of these kids' baby food pouches and stuff, and I keep this because I do have like a 3-year-old, and if he needs a snack or something, God forbid that he's with me when I'm stranded or whatever, whatnot. But if that's the case, I have other things in this trunk to kind of mitigate that. But in a pinch, this is something that you can have. Say you're diabetic or something like that, you might want to keep whatever candies, sweets, or wherever, however that works, you might want to keep stuff like that in your bag. But for the most part, you don't need a lot of food. Like, you're going to be okay. One thing you're going to need more than food is water. I'd rather have this weight in water than in food. So I only keep this one, and I don't really plan on using it. But every couple months, I'll go in here, switch it out, give this to my son or something, put a new one in there just to make sure it's fresh. Not really too concerned about food. And like I said, that's the difference between you and I. Like, you might need it like that. I'm good. I got a little weight I can get rid of, and 10-mile walk would do me good without having something to eat. Matter of fact, I don't even eat all day like that. I usually eat once a day. I do intermittent fasting, so I'm good with not eating for multiple hours. Next thing we're gonna go into is this right here. This is a heat retaining rain poncho. And this serves 2 purposes. Actually, it serves about 3 purposes. The first purpose is heat retaining if it's cold out. Now, keep in mind, I dress for the weather, but if it is cold out, or say it's hot during the day and then cold at night, at least you got this to give you some heat. The second thing it does is it keeps the rain off you. It's a rain poncho. The third thing that this does is it's almost like a shelter. Worst comes to worst, you get caught out in a rainstorm or something like that, you can just kind of crouch down, try to get underneath some kind of cover, maybe lean up against a tree, and then you can use this to cover your whole front, get your legs inside, and then you have a mini shelter. I'm not putting a whole bunch of stuff in here to build shelters because I'm not planning on being anywhere that long to where I need to build a shelter. I'm getting home. I'm not setting up camp. If you need something to keep the elements off you, this is a good choice. I'd also suggest you just get a regular poncho without the heat retaining, because you may be out there and it may be raining, but it may be hot and you don't want to overheat, but you don't want to get wet. That's something to think about. 2 pouches, and then we have our final pouch here. I keep a watch because if you're in this situation, probably your phone's down. You probably don't know what time it is. It's a good thing to have. Now, I usually keep this strapped on the outside like this, and that's so that this could get solar charged every once in a while when it does see the daylight. It's nice to know what time you were somewhere or how long you've been out. I have a tourniquet. I think everybody should keep one of these so you don't bleed to death. Let's get into this. This right here is a Leatherman Wave, and this is my toolkit / knife. Now, I usually keep a knife on me. I actually keep 2 knives on me. There's another vehicle passing by. This thing right here is a pair of pliers, wire cutters. I'm just gonna go through this really quickly. A Phillips head. Now, it's kind of got these, it's got this small, I don't know if you can see that, but this small like eyeglass screwdriver thing. One's a Phillips and the other one's a standard that fits into this little slot right here. It has scissors, which I never use, but I mean, I figure I got a knife, but I mean, it includes it, so it's whatever. What else we got here? It's got this Phillips head and this standard head that flips around like this. And then it's got a can opener here. Now, what I like about this Phillips head right here is that it comes with the kit that you could buy with it that includes a whole bunch of different heads that you could put or you could interchange with this. And this pretty much will get you almost into any kind of screw or pretty much any kind of screw head that you have, like a hex nut or not a hex nut, but like say you got something that has like an Allen wrench head on it. It's almost got every combination that you can imagine. And it also has, I don't know if it's on this one, I think it's on this first one. It also has another small eyeglass kit thing there. I'll probably insert a close-up of that. And then I bought this extra piece right here. This is like a ratchet for this right here. So instead of you having to, say you're trying to unscrew something, instead of you having to come in and pull it out and then keep turning like that, you can pop this in like this, and then pop this piece in here like that. And then in the middle, if you turn it, it doesn't ratchet. If you turn it this way, it ratchets one way. And if you turn it all the way the other way, it ratchets the other way. I love this thing, but I don't think they sell it anymore because I thought I had lost it and I tried to order another one and, excuse me, I couldn't find one on the internet. So I don't know if you could buy those anymore. So if you see one, I suggest you get it. Now, on the outside of this, it also comes with a knife, which is super sharp because I just sharpened it. It comes with a file. It comes with a serrated blade, and it comes, well, that's the knife. Where's it at? It comes with a serrated blade. Where's it at? Right here. It comes with this super sharp saw, and this will cut branches, I promise you. Super duper sharp. This is a really good Father's Day gift. Father doesn't have one. Highly suggest you get this for the loved one of your life, male or female. It's a really good gift to have. I can't wait to use this one. This is Repel. I got the lemon eucalyptus just because I don't like all those harsh chemicals, and this will really come in handy when you're out like I am, and then you got these bugs messing with you. So really good thing to have. It's not always about survival. Some of it is about comfort. I keep a knife. I keep a knife on me. I actually keep two knives on me. I keep one there, and I keep one in my pockets.
Do we have a problem?
I don't necessarily need a knife in this bag, but I kept it there just to remind me to show you that you may want to keep a knife in there. Now, I also have a knife in here, but sometimes you don't want to pull this out. Sometimes it's easier to have that on. This is the easier thing if you need some sort of self-defense. So keep that in mind as well. This is a really cheap knife. I think it was like $10 at Walmart. If you can get this, I'll put it on the screen of what it is, but there was a bunch of videos about reviewing this knife. I don't know how popular it is now, but this is a Walmart knife too. This one right here, this is an Ozark Trail, and I believe this is full tang. This is super, super sturdy. So the thing about everything in this kit is you don't have to spend a lot of money. A lot of this stuff you can get at Walmart, like this life straw, this right here, this heated poncho. This is like less than $5 at Walmart. Walmart. You don't have to break the budget to have a get home bag. Even this bag right here, this Camelback, Walmart has a version, I believe it's called Ozark Trail. And you can get an Ozark Trail bag that has a water bladder in it. And it's about, I don't know, 40 bucks. Now, I looked up this Camelback bag, this mule, and this is like $222 right now. I paid $80 for it on eBay a while back, and I just looked it up a couple days ago, and I saw one on eBay for like 40 bucks. So the price fluctuates. I suggest that you get a used one because, I mean, it's going to work the same. All you got to do is just make sure the water bottle's cleaned out and your gravy. And I'm not going to make this a Camelback review, but like you could switch out these pieces and parts right here and make them all new, like this bite valve or whatever. All that stuff can be switched out. The whole straw can be switched out. So just keep that in mind. Or you could just buy the bag and then buy a bladder separate. It's up to you. All right, back on the subject. All right, so I said that I kept knives for self-defense. And as you can see, I keep a pistol on me. Now, you might want to keep some type of mace or pepper spray on you. This is for situations where you don't want to deploy that weapon. Like, not every situation calls for pulling your gun out. Like, you may be getting attacked by a dog or something, and this spray will keep them from biting you, or just a person. Now, I don't keep that in my bag because I keep a pepper spray on my personal carry as well.
Do we have a problem?
But I kept it in there just to remind me to tell you, you might want to get some type of pepper spray. Here's another thing that I don't keep in here, but I wanted to tell you about it. This one has a dual purpose. Not only is it a flashlight, but it's a taser as well. So you get two uses out of this. And you may not even have to use it, but say you're walking down an alley, and I don't know why you're walking down this hypothetical alley, but anyway, you're walking down this alley, right? And people come up and they say something and it makes you feel unnerved. You hit them with this, they'll think twice before they want to mess with you. This, I think it cost me like, I know I paid less than 20 bucks in this, and that was at like an outlet store that I go to here in Omaha. It's an outlet store on 24th and Key Street. If you're in Omaha, go check him out. He's got all types of cool little self-defense tools like this at that store. I don't know him like that. He didn't pay me to say that, but it's a good store. It's been around for years and years and years and years and years. Here's that regular poncho I was telling you about. Like, you may not want the insulated value of not getting wet. You might just want to not get wet. So here's a poncho. You can also use this for survival skills like evaporating water and then collecting it. That's a whole nother video. We're not going to cover that here, but there's more uses for this than just keeping you dry. We have this gum. Here comes another vehicle right here. Anyway, we have this Respawn gum. Now, I keep this because it's got caffeine in it. Keep you awake, keep you motivated. I like having gum, especially when I'm driving. Say I'm getting tired. I will chew on gum, and just the act of keeping my jaws moving and chewing on that gum will actually keep me awake. So the added benefit of having caffeine is a plus. So it might give you a little bit of motivation if you actually do have to walk home. Lighter. Keep this in case I need to start a fire. I picked this color in particular because you don't want to go tactical with everything. If you're not in a tactical environment, like there's some things that you don't want to drop and lose. If this was a green lighter and I dropped it in the grass, I'd have a hell of a time trying to find it. Now it's this orange, I drop it. Oh, I know it's right there. I can find it. You want something to write on. You want writing gear and a pen. Doesn't have to be this pen. This is Right in the Rain's high speed, low drag pen. It's not called that. It's called their, I don't know, something pen, but it's like pressurized and supposed to, it's a $13 pen that I really didn't need to pay for. You can get a regular pen, but I wanted something that I didn't want to worry about exploding in my pack and all the other stuff, whatever or not. They have this pen. Get it if you want to. You can get a regular pen. And they have this Right in the Rain notebook. Pages are kind of waterproof, and they won't tear if they get wet or whatever. Not. I mean, it'll tear, but I mean, it's not as fragile as regular paper is, you know, sticking together and all that other good stuff if you happen to be in the rain. Now, one thing I suggest you do when you get this is I suggest that you write down all the people that you know and all their phone numbers. In this hypothetical situation, you are stranded and your phone's not working. Now, say somebody pulls up and maybe you don't want to get in the vehicle with them, but you'd be like, hey, can I use your phone real quick? But now you don't know who to call because you ain't got no numbers. They're right here. So write those numbers down. Also write down like any important information you may have about yourself. It might be things like blood type or any medical things that you may have. Anything that you might want somebody to know if they found you unconscious. You might want to have it in here. Another good use for this is, so I used to run a couple parks in Omaha. I used to be the park caretaker, and there would be cars abandoned in the parks, and I would be in charge of having them towed out of the parks. Now, say your vehicle is parked or abandoned somewhere and you don't want it to get towed away. You want to be able to come back there and hope it's still there. You might want to write a note saying, hey, my name is such and such. This is my phone number. My car broke down. I get paid on Friday. I'll have it gone by Saturday morning. You might want to write that down, have it in the front window over by where your VIN number is, have it in the front of the dash of your window. So if somebody comes by or a police officer comes by and they look at that, they're like, okay, this car isn't abandoned or it hasn't been stolen and ditched here. They'll be back. And then that might just keep you from getting your car towed. Or here's another situation where you might want pen and paper. Say you're like, all right, I need to leave. Like, say it's cold, you can't stay in the car, and somebody drove by and they're offering to give you a ride. Well, you might want to just take down their information and leave it in the window of your car before you leave. So, for example, say you're a female and somebody pulls up and they're like, hey, I'll give you a ride. Now, you can be like, hey, I don't mean to be rude, but is it all right if I get your information so I can write it down? You know, you can get their name. Maybe they can show you their ID. You can get their name, make a description of their car, maybe the license plate number, write all that information down and be like, I went with this person and we're headed to this town to get help. So that way, if somebody comes looking for you and they find your vehicle, they know at least where you went or who you went with. You know, they have some type of information on where you went instead of thinking that you went trekking it out in the woods somewhere. So just a tip, something you might want to do. All right, let's get to navigation. I have a compass and I have a map. You may not know how to read a map, which is sad, but hopefully somebody who's with you will know how to read a map. Now, you can get maps for free. I went to the Department of Transportation. I just went down there and said, hey, you got any highway maps? They give them to you for free. Matter of fact, I got all the maps for all the surrounding states that are adjacent to Nebraska. I got all those as well. So I keep those in my vehicle. So say I happen to be in Iowa, I can take that Iowa map with me. So I know. One thing I did do with this, and I also did with my bag, was I sprayed this with waterproof spray. So if I get water on it, it'll slide off of it like water off a duck's back. I also did that with the pack. So if I'm caught in the rain, all the contents inside don't get soaked. I have a compass. Don't get one of those compasses that like is on a watch strap or is just hanging by itself. Like anything that looks cheap, just no, just don't do it. And if you do get a compass, take it to like a Bass Pro store or any kind of sporting goods store and check it out against a legitimate compass there and make sure that it's pointing the right direction. Because I had a compass that was in my car and I just went to go check it. That thing wasn't working at all. It's like a toy. This is a Kaminga. This is like the standard for lensatic compasses. I got this because I like buying quality and I like something that I can depend on and something I can hand down to my sons. Now, you may be the type of person who doesn't know north from south, from east from west. Let me give you a quick class on that. If it's morning time and the sun is that way, that's east. Right now, it's evening time and the sun is that way, so that's west. If that's east and that's west, then that's north and that's south. Now, you may be saying, oh, well, it's overcast and I can't see the sun. Okay, well, if you're in town, here's a little pro tip. If you're in town and you see like those old school satellite dishes hanging on the side of a house, the direction that that satellite dish is pointing is south because that's where the satellite is south. It goes around the equator and whatnot. If you're looking in a house and you see a satellite dish pointing that way, then that way is south. If you happen to be outside and you notice that all the shadows are on this side of something and it's noonday or something like that, that's usually the north side, is the shady side of most buildings. Just FYI. Let's see what else we got here. Got some Ranger beads. I'll cover this in another video. And no, it's not a sexual thing. It's actually a thing that helps you keep track of distance that you traveled. So if you'd like to see a video on that, you can look it up, but I'll probably make one later. I keep that with that. This is a big thing I keep with me, is money. This is probably gonna help you out more than anything else here, because you may need money to get your vehicle towed. You might need to have gas money for somebody who's coming to pick you up. They'll be like, yeah, I'll come pick you up, but I don't have no gas, or I can't afford to. You know, I got enough gas to get me to work. Keep small bills. Don't keep big bills, because then you kind of haggle your way down. Say somebody's driving by and they're like, hey, can I get a ride? I only got $20 on me. You know what I mean? Keep small bills. That way you don't have to worry about having to make change. Oh, let's get to this. This is a cell phone. Now, you're saying, oh, well, not everybody has enough money to have a backup cell phone. Well, the thing is that this cell phone has absolutely no service whatsoever. I've had this phone since, I don't know, 2018, 2019 or something like that. I keep it for a few reasons. One of the reasons is that you could use this, you can still take pictures with it. You could also, if you have a smartphone, you could also download maps onto your smartphone or pictures of maps. Another good reason that I keep this is so I can call the police. Most people don't know that regardless of if a phone has service or not, you could actually call the police on a phone. It's like some law or something. Now, I'm not going to call the police on this phone. I did it yesterday. Actually, I'll put a clip in of when I did it yesterday. Now, if you look right here, there's absolutely no bars. There's no service there. But if I dial 911 and I hit call, let's see how that works.
Sir, P911, address to the emergency.
I'm sorry, I don't have an emergency. Someone actually told me that I could use an old phone to contact emergency services, and I was just checking to see if it worked. That's all.
Okay, you don't have an emergency?
No, ma'am. Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right, have a
I'll
great
go
day.
ahead and let you go then.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
If you have an old phone laying around the house, charge it up, keep it in your bag, and just have it as a backup way to call the police in case something happens. All right, right here is a little medi bag that I keep on me. And I'm going to show you what I keep inside. Now, first off, I keep a Sharpie, and this is in case I need to write notes anywhere, like to write it actually on the windshield, or say you got that tourniquet, you need to write down what time you apply that tourniquet. You need to have this Sharpie to do that. I keep a bunch of medications. Now, I keep a couple things of Benadryl. This is also a different type of allergy medication. I have a couple things of Advil, a couple things of Excedrin, a couple packets of Tylenol. I also keep some antacids. I also keep 3 days supply of medicine in case I actually do need to be out for 3 days. If you have any medication, you can keep that in there as well. Just make sure that you mark it, and also you mark the dosage on the bag just in case. If somebody finds you and say it's paramedic and they want to know what you took and how much you took of it or whatever, whatnot, they'll be able to see that. I keep this little ankle brace wrap because say I do have to walk somewhere and I sprain my ankle, hopefully I can tape it up. That's also what this is. This is athletic tape with the cardboard insert pulled out so it'll scrunch down a little bit more. I keep this if I need to tape a wrist or an ankle, or if I need to tape on a bandage of some sort. I also keep safety pins. Never know what you need those for. Tweezers, nail clippers. Nothing more annoying than having a hangnail and not being able to cut it correctly. I keep chapstick. Chapstick is very important. It sucks to have chapped lips and nothing to do about it. Or if I didn't want to do this, you could just use the triple antibiotic ointment. Q-tip, for obvious reasons, in case you need to clean your ears. But also, you could take this antibiotic ointment, spread it on the Q-tip, or you could take the chapstick wax, spread it on the Q-tip, and then light that Q-tip with this lighter, or the other one that you carry. And that way, it'll hold the flame a little bit longer if for some reason you need to build a fire. All right, I keep a knife specifically for my first aid kit. I'd say it's sterile, but I don't use it for anything else but, you know, first aid kit stuff. It's super sharp. But in case I need to, say I get a splinter or something and I need to cut back some skin to get to the splinter or whatever, whatnot, or if I need to cut anything and it need to be sterile, I have razor blades that I keep as well. I also keep electrolyte powders. It's a good thing to have. Toothpicks, just because they're so lightweight and it's really nothing to carry and they're really nice to have. Almost one of those creature comfort things. This is filled with all different types of bandages, from large bandages to regular bandages to butterfly bandages to like that new skin type deal bandages, all different types of bandages. Don't need to explain to you why I got bandages. I also have this. This is called Bleed Stop. This is something if you get a nice gash and it's bleeding really good, you pour this in that gash and then you cover it up and then wrap it up, and this will coagulate all that blood and at the least slow down the bleeding. I got more dressing, diarrhea medication, because stress does all types of stuff to the body, and the last thing you want to be doing is having a bout of diarrhea in the middle of nowhere, which brings me back to these. Yeah, keep those on you. This is another really big thing that I've only seen one other person talk about, and that is moleskin. So say you do have to walk, and say you don't walk all the time, or you got new shoes and you get out there and after about a mile or two, your feet start hurting because your toes rubbing up against a part of a shoe that it hasn't, and it's just a pain to walk. Put this moleskin on, cut you out a piece, put it over that worn raw piece of foot that you got, that'll keep you from getting aggravated. Also this corn cushions, these also do the same thing. You put it over any aggravated part of your foot and it will kind of keep a barrier between your shoe, your foot, keep that from all rubbing together. So I believe that's all she wrote, yo. Oh, no, don't want to forget this. So I also have a needle. There's all types of things you can use a needle for. You might need to sew yourself up. Hopefully not. But you're like, well, what are you going to sew yourself up with? Well, I do have this paracord. I also have paracord in this Ranger, on these Ranger beads. If you tear the paracord down to its littlest strands, you can get one of those small strands to fit in this hole. And say like the strap breaks on this and I need to reattach it real quick, you can go ahead and sew that up in a pinch. That's what that's for. Also, here's another thing that I almost didn't show you. I have a dog tag in here, and it's got my first name, last name, my phone number, another phone number, and then it's got O positive for my blood type. I also keep a power bank and a cord to charge any devices I may have. The one problem I do see is that I do have this for my personal phone, but I should get a charger for this other phone right here, because this takes one of those old school charging plugs. So I do need to keep that in here for this. I'm glad I checked on that. That's another thing that I want to bring up is that you want to go through this bag at least twice a year. I like to go through all my bags 2 times a year, once in the fall and once in the spring, because in the fall, there's things I add to my bags like winter gear, whatnot. And in the spring, there's things I take out and different things that I put in just for summer applications. With that being said, I would like you to know that this video is a part of a series of videos that I'm doing that will address car preparedness. There are different bags that I keep in my car for different situations. Like I keep a tool kit, I keep a paramedic kit. I also keep a kit just for my kid, you know, because he has his own wants and needs as well. If you'd like to watch that or learn more, I'll link all those videos in the diddly-do or whatever. And if you liked it, let me know, leave a like and all that other good stuff. If you have any comments or any suggestions or any questions, ask them in the comment section. I appreciate you watching.